Radical. I want to bring us something very interesting, and this is the topic of possible conflictions, or what some people might see as, just conflictions. Now, I was waiting for people to leave comments about my upload talking about the thoughts of DF Retro in that DF Retro long podcast, or whatever they call it. I was waiting for people to leave comments and say, well, you referenced them for being e-beggars and called them out for e-begging. So why are you now kind of like giving them shine a reference for some of their thoughts or happenings with the Intellivision Amico? And that is a possible confliction, right? There's no way to get on YouTube and be on YouTube for years and actually to commentate on a variety of different things and people to not have possible conflictions that come up. And my thought on it was, if that was going to be a comment left, I would go ahead and leave at the end of that upload part 1 and 2 of me, equating them to e-beggars. And of course, they're not on the same level of e-begging as DSP, Dark Side of Phil, but I use that in the thumbnail. So that's kind of the way I kind of like dealt with it, Now, there's no way for anyone to not have conflictions in some way, shape, or form. Great example, for instance. There's one of the best commenters that's ever come on this channel, one of the best commenters I've ever seen in Rusty Shackelford. But there were some disagreements I had with Rusty Shackelford over the overpriced, Zelda Game & Watch, right? Now, I didn't want to have any confliction, so me and that person disagree. So I just don't ever want to be in a position to where people say, well, Rick, you are giving special treatment or being too hard on that person over there. So I'm trying to get this as perfect as I possibly can, I'll say. But I don't think there's any way I could actually, or any of you that are YouTubers, could really get this perfect. So we come to a situation that I wanted to discuss, which is a video from Pat the Nespunk, and it's about an hour long, and he's talking about, towards the end, the Amico E3 mainstream reaction. There are a couple things that Pat brings up, Pat and Ian, that are actually some good points about the Amico. And I'm wondering, if I bring up these good points, is that a confliction? I'm wondering here. I guess it comes to be, how you feel about a lot of different things, And I've heard this comment before. People say, well, Pat's kind of a scumbag because he has the Patreon and he has to join, and he is part of the e-begging class here on YouTube. In fact, on the join I clicked on, he's got a $25 tier, which I think is a bit scummy, because that means he expects someone out there to give him $25 a month for basically just talking about video game type stuff on the YouTube hobby channel, So, yeah, there's that. And I see comments here from Winged Avenger, one which actually was hearted by Pat the Nespunk. So one good thing I'll say about Pat the Nespunk is he actually does get into his comment section. A lot of these YouTubers do not. So again, I wonder, is that a confliction for me to actually say some things and then some other things? I think it's more in line with being fair and objective. I don't have a closed mind is what I'm saying. So on the one side, I'll say, hey, Pat, if you're listening, it's kind of scummy for you to have a $25 Patreon tier, but it's still a good thing that, you're hearting comments and, in your comment section, right? And again, I'll say that him and Ian, they brought up some good points about the Intellivision Amico. Also, I see other people that come here regularly. Let's see here. There's a lot of comments here. I'm scrolling down. EG is one person that comes here regularly. And there's a couple other people. There's a lot of comments here. There's a lot of people that go to the CU podcast. To any of you people that go to the CU podcast, okay, I see Felsafe Dictator also here. Felsafe, EG, Winged Avenger. I do sincerely hope none of you are giving money to this YouTube E-Beggar. I hope you aren't, right? Is that what it is? Do I have to constantly reference these people that are taking people's money for their hobby YouTube uploads as e-beggars? Right? Maybe does that make everything okay? I just want to kind of get this out there and talk about the conflictions And if it's impossible for anyone to not have any conflictions whatsoever, whether it be with your own audience, whether it be if you're commentating on other YouTubers, and I'm always striving to, get everything as close to perfect as possible and to serve as an example to other YouTubers. And I think it's not just enough to be a YouTuber that doesn't accept donations from their own audience. I kind of want to get this as perfect as I possibly can. So I guess that's why I even bring up this, this chat. And I wonder, do any of you like that just can't stand me, like hate my guts? Do any of you come back occasionally, even though you hate my guts, maybe you don't like how I feel about some things, but you come back and you're like, you know what? I normally hate you, Radical Rick, but you're right on this. What am I going to title this? Let's give this a long, fancy title. How about the Patton Punk and Ian Ferguson good points on the Intellivision Amico / E-Beggar Confliction?